Alright, so welcome back to the channel. This video I wanted to take a look at a couple of the mods that I use for the vampires and how they affect the game, if you will. So first off, we're going to talk about better vampires. Alright, better vampires right here. It's like 8 point something, 9 point something. I forget what the version of it is. First you go to status, so you can see this is a master vampire and she has 18 more days to go before she ranks up to the final vampire rank, and last fed 15 hours ago, but she's still fully fed. This mod also adds hotkeys for a couple things. You like feeding and your status. You can either allow or disallow them right here by enabling them. You have a bunch more you can do here. You see all these different powers you can apply to a key. They all say delete, which is pretty much they're not paired up to anything. So it says here. General options. I have it set to reverse progression, which basically is in the vanilla game. The more starved your vampire is, the stronger they are, and also the weaker they are too, to a degree, like to your weaknesses of such fire. Spell damage, everything is normal here. You can change this to 2 times. Never hated how it comes default. You can change it to where they hunt you at certain levels, but it has corpse feeding, so the ones you defeat, you can feed on them to get your sustenance back. You can sneak feed in combat. To feed in combat, you would have to be get them where they're down on one knee. And you can feed. I use the cannibal animation when I'm feeding on the corpse. And I have to set the advanced feeding, so where it does advance me to the net, it'll count as a feeding. And that's important because if you use, see, I have days of vampire set to where the longer I'm a vampire, the more, the higher my rank will go. Like it levels up that way. But the default option is necks bitten, so the amount of necks you bite as a vampire. Thinking on here, this is where I have it set to how many days are per rank. I suppose 18 days. I've been a master for 2 days in game. I have the blurred screen cut off and the red fade here turned off. Blood potions, which you get with Dawn Guard, will also affect your satiation. So if you are starved or whatever, you have blood potion, you can drink it. It will bring you back down to well fed, as well as give you a little bit of health. I think that's all changed in this one here. There's different options you can go there and look at them. Got your ability of like vampires cannot drown. This is an interesting one there. But strength and weaknesses. I do have the weakness to outdoor days turned off because but the weakness of fire, so you can turn it off if you want to. You can turn all it off if you wanted to, but and here's the rank progression. The one default is this one here. I don't know if you read it or not, but to go down this line here, you got 1 and then 40 for it to be a vampire. So you start as a fledgling, feed 40 times to get here, feed 80 more times to get here, 140 to get to the Night Stalker, 240 more to get to Master, and then 400 to get to Night Lord. And this gives it a look, which I can't even read this because it's a little layout of what each one does. But I can show you that stuff in a moment somewhere else. So that's all I have here for the vampire. Come here to powers. You have, this is the vampire perk, so it's this right here. Most of these come with the vanilla game, though. These few here do. It's not showing greater strength, which it should, but it's not. So, and you got this comes with the mod as well. It adds multiple throughout the game. People who have powerful blood, you know, because you'll see a little message saying you sense someone with powerful blood. Delphine gives you 15% dragon attacks, which means you resist 15% of their attacks. Savos, which is the archmage, gives you 15% magicka regeneration. And Isran gives you 35% resistance to Dawn Guard weapons, which that'll help out a lot. And this is the Master Vampire. This is what you get for being a Master Vampire. You can be right here. All three of these say the same thing because they were all these same things, just broken down. And I showed you in the last video. This comes with the mod. I showed you in the last video how you use it and everything. And I like that one. Also, this comes with the mod too. It's kind of like Iron Flesh or what are the other ones? Iron Flesh. You have Stone. You have Dragon Scale or something. You know, it comes with this mod. Except this also gives you fire resistance as well. Now another one that I have that I'll have to show you another way. So this one here, you have to do something a little more. Oh, it's already selected there. This one is a Vampire Lord retexture. And as you can see, when you set the mod up, you can decide what armor you want. I think this is like Ancient Nord or something. But you can choose like vanilla armor. It's all, you know, and a couple other ones. Notice the eyes. I think there's a setting in here, I think it is, with the Vampire Lord retexture, which makes it to where if you have an eye mod, like for your eyes, I think it helps keep it similar here. When you come here, this is where big change is as well. It has all your normal stuff that you normally have, but you have stuff like Sharpening Talons, Sever Strike, which means you dial for, I think you attack more than ones in front of you. Your Night Cloak, which is normal. I think this is new. I never gotten all of them before though. But one I have had before I do like is the Sanguine Wings, which makes it so you can actually fly. You no longer take fall damage in your Vampire Lord form. You are muffled in human form, and you can also fly in Vampire Lord form. That's a big game changer there. But you see, just overall, it gives you a lot more here, and just the look of it, I think it looks a lot better. The wings has got full wings now. What I don't really care for is the wings, and they kind of come there, so you can't choose the wings, they're on every one of them. I didn't know you were that far. Wrong button. And then the next one I want to talk about here, I forget the name of it, but I will link it in the description with the other vampire mods, is if you look as the claws. Which, take a few things off here. She fights in a style like Khajiit. Her claws do damage. It's comparable to, I think, what the Khajiit I think will do. Early game, it's more powerful than your swords and stuff, but later in the game you get, it's not quite as powerful anymore. But you could all. I did have one character on here for a while that was heavy armor, which had the gauntlet perk, to where he gives you more damage and then that kind of stuff. So there's a way to make a damage out of it, but she doesn't have that kind of power there.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. There's a new lady in charge of the orphanage in Riften. She asked me to hand out these. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
What a rude interruption. Anyway, I also have a mod that gives, so you know, I'm a vampire here, but the eyes are blue instead of orange. And it changes all vampires' eyes. Not the blue necessarily, but changes them all. A lot of them are green, I think, or kind of a greenish hue. I chose these because they look closer to what Celine had in Underworld. That's what the mod was all about, was the vampire eyes in Underworld. You had the 3 options. I chose this one because they look better. But yeah, so I don't really have a whole lot of vampire mods, but those are the few that I have. And I will leave a link to them in the description. And you've seen them in action with all of the gameplay I've had with her. You've seen some of the stuff that happens. I don't want to show everything because if you want to try to mod, I want you to figure it out yourself. To kind of, I don't know, figure new things out. But yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this little video here. If you want to see more like this, let me know in the comments. I'll try to do some more of the mod that I have. The next one coming, I think, is going to be werewolf. I've got a lot of mods for the werewolf, probably more than here. One more thing I want to, before I go, which I put it at the end here because it goes with this mod and the werewolf mod both, and that will be start game monsters. Now, when you have better vampires installed, you can, I'll show you. Alright, so I was saying, when you have this installed, you can go to Troubleshooting and click on Reset Sanguinaire Vampiris. I'm not going to do that because it will reset what I've got going already. But what it does is, if you are not a vampire, it will make you a vampire. It'll say disease has been removed, and it will give you the vampire disease, which then you will wait 3 days to take effect. You know, like you do when you get it normally. Then you will start a vampire fledgling. But this right here, it puts you straight at a level vampire, no fledgling, so you skip it, which I did with a different character, but this character here started the other way, so she went through fledgling and all, so she's up there. And with that, I would like to say, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, then subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, then welcome back. And until next time, have a blessed day.